Έμφαση στις καλλιέργειες και τα αγροτικά προϊόντα, όπου εμφανίζει συγκριτικά πλεονεκτήματα, θα πρέπει να δώσει η χώρα μας, ώστε να ανταπεξέλθει στο ανταγωνιστικό περιβάλλον της παγκόσμιας οικονομίας, αλλά και τις προκλήσεις που θέτει η νέα ΚΑΠ. Αυτό τονίζει στο πρώτο μέρος της συνέντευξης που παραχώρησε αποκλειστικά στο Agronews ο επικεφαλής της Bayer CropScience Ελλάς, Hans-Joachim Henn. Ο κύριος Henn εκτιμά ότι η πρωτογενής παραγωγή θα είναι από τους πρώτους κλάδους της ελληνικής οικονομίας που θα βγουν από την κρίση και σημειώνει ότι η πολιτεία πρέπει να εκμεταλλευτεί τις δυνατότητες που προσφέρει το νέο κοινοτικό πλαίσιο ώστε να στηρίξει τους νέους αγρότες. Αποκαλύπτει επίσης ότι η εταιρεία ετοιμάζεται να λαντσάρει ένα νέο υβρίδιο ρυζιού που υπόσχεται μεγάλες αποδόσεις.
So let's move on now to the new common agricultural policy and how, which is actually the hot issue these days, and it's being discussed in in the European level, and obviously we have some fundamental changes taking place. Which do you think are the most important changes, and what's your own take on it? How do you think it will change the framework of agriculture?
Well, maybe a few words on this new common agricultural policy, valid as from beginning of next year. First of all, it takes into consideration the 27 EU member states, and it is claimed that this new common agricultural policy will distribute the support for agriculture more fair and more equally among these 27 member states. This for me means that the former EU 12 countries will receive in total less support, because it is also said that the European budget for supporting the agriculture will remain almost the same. Now the new CAP is based on two key principles: a direct payment according to the basic payments schedule, basic payment scheme, which is a support per hectare, and this is supposed to move more to actual cultivation data rather than to historical data. And here I think the Greek agriculture, especially the cotton growers, will be affected, because their subsidies are currently based on historical growing areas, acreages, and not that much on the actual ones. So here I would expect a change. The total amount from this basic payment scheme is supposed to be not more than 70% of the total budget that is available for Greece. There are, and this is good for Greece, there are some possibilities for the member states to support young farmers, to support farmers who are intending to start agricultural business, which I think is very positive. There is another possibility for the member states to support very small farms with a given amount, with a certain amount, which I think also fits somehow to the Greek circumstances, having a lot of small but very efficient farmers, especially in the vegetable, in the fruits and trees areas. We have a lot of small farmers. So I think there are some elements which can support really the Greek circumstances better. The other part of the direct payment, the remaining 30%, is meant to be related to greening. And greening in this means that the subsidy is related and focused on some, how they call it, ecological focus areas. So that means certain behaviors which are supposed to be beneficial for the environment are supported, and the subsidy is only given once these criteria are fulfilled by the farmers. This is for me also a positive thing, and farmers are more, let's say, more forced to follow certain environmental standards. I think the requirements are not extraordinary, but they show that there is a certain understanding of what agriculture means to the environment. And here comes again back our understanding of sustainability, because for us in Bayer CropScience, to do agriculture in full alignment with the environment is a matter of sustainability. So I think this part of the CAP fully supports this understanding.
How do you think the Greek crop protection market and the seed market as well is going to develop in the near future? Do you see any factors which could actually foster demand? We can actually increase it. Do you think it has upwards, downwards prospects? What's your feeling?
We have to see the increasing worldwide demand for food, for feed, for fiber, for energy, related an intensification of agriculture globally, and following that the demand for crop protection products increased dramatically over the last 2 years globally. This in principle applies also for Greece, but due to the financial difficulties over the last few years, mainly the lack of liquidity, the full potential of growth in the Greek agriculture could not be fully revealed and could not be fully exploited. However, despite the crisis and the difficulties, the crop protection market in 2013 is supposed to grow. On a modest way, a few percent increase is expected in this. And also for the years to come, we expect a modest but a growth in the crop protection market. Nevertheless, the potential of the Greek agriculture is much higher than currently realized. And as soon as the overall economic situation is getting better, the agricultural sector, and this is our firm belief, will be the one that grows first and will become a real contributor to the recovery of the Greek economy. So overall, we see a potential in agriculture, and we see the agricultural sector as one of the first ones that will come out of the crisis, and we are prepared for this, and this is why we are doing all the efforts, why we are applying our 4-pillar strategy, why we are going ahead, getting closer to farmers, providing solutions, bringing new products even in difficult times of the economy, to be prepared and to prepare the farmers and the Greek agricultural sector for these times, which will definitely be better for agriculture.
So you mentioned a new rice variety, a new rice hybrid, which is actually being developed at this moment. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Where exactly is being cultivated at this stage? How many farmers are actually involved in the process, and are the first results encouraging? What do you see?
Well, as you know, rice has a certain importance in some parts of the country, mainly in the north regions. It is not the biggest crop in the country, but it has some importance in some areas. We are developing a rice, which is the brand name of our rice hybrid varieties, our hybrid seeds. These hybrid seeds have certain advantages for the farmers. First of all, due to the fact that they are hybrids, you need much lower sowing rates. Talking about 40 to 50 kilo per hectare, while currently farmers use almost 200 kilo per hectare. While gaining higher yield with these varieties, that's what all our trials showed. The input, especially on nitrogen fertilizer, is lower. Due to the tillering of the crops, due to the growth habit of the crops, the distances between the rows can be wider. That means the planting and the cultivation later on can be made much more efficient by the farmer. So the farmer will really see a lot of benefits with these hybrids based on the characteristic of a hybrid. And at the same time he will gain higher yield. So he can be more efficient in his production. With lower input he can gain higher yield. And this is what we call sustainability in agriculture, and this is what we want to transfer to the farmers. The timeline for these seeds is that we hope that we will launch them in 2016. We are currently in the official field trials, and then the registration of the varieties will follow, and we hope in 2016 we will come out with these seeds.
Mm-hmm.